So welcome everyone to our webinar, and we're going to start off with Claire and I are unmuted. Claire is the lead trainer of the 200-hour Ambassador Yoga Teacher Training, and I'm the lead trainer of the 95-hour Children's Yoga Teacher Training. And we've been scrambling around seeing how can we move this training online and see if we can make the most out of this situation. So we're going to go over the things that we described in the newsletter, and then we're going to unmute those who have questions. And I've actually received a couple questions by email, and I'm going to go over those questions, and then we'll unmute you, and if you have questions still at the end, we can do it. We can answer all the questions. So let's see how I get my, oh, here we go. This morning, I've made a commitment to myself to help myself get through this, is that before I do start my day and start working, I'm going to do yoga or meditation or something. And sometimes it's only 15 minutes because I can't get my mind to stop thinking. But at least for me, it's like, let's do this first. Let's put it before, because sometimes if you're like, let me try to get all my work done, and then if I have time to do it, then I'll do my yoga and my meditation. I don't think I have to tell you how that works out. I think you're gonna know. It just doesn't happen. So let's all do 5 deep breaths before we go in. So I used my little, these are images I licensed for my yoga teacher training, and I was trying to social distance them. Okay, so here they are. Imagine they're 6 feet apart, okay? I don't know if it's exactly to scale. So just for a moment, for 5 breaths, let's take a moment. If you're comfortable where you are, close your eyes and take a deep breath in and breathe out. And when you breathe in, just tune into your breath as you inhale and exhale. And when you inhale, see if you notice where in your body you might be holding the tension of the times that we're in. So for a few breaths, just see if you can recognize where in your body you might be storing a little tension. And allow yourself to recognize that feeling and open up a space in your heart for you to feel what you're actually feeling right now without judging it as right or wrong, just noticing that it's there. And let that space get a little bigger, and let your heart get a little bigger so it can hold all the feelings you have right now, and embrace it. And then as you exhale, allow yourself to wish yourself to be free of that suffering. So when you inhale, you can notice what you feel. And when you exhale, let yourself wish to be free of that suffering. Just give yourself that wish right now. And for a moment, let's hold a compassionate space for everyone, and recognize that now, probably more than ever before, all around the world, we're all feeling our own suffering in our own way. And when we inhale, we can recognize that we're not the only ones feeling this, that we're all in this together. And when you exhale, wish for everyone to be free of suffering. Even that dog is barking because that dog is trying to relieve their suffering in some way. And so when we see our families or people we meet we recognize that everyone is just trying to get through the day, trying to ease their suffering, and so are we. And so that allows us to be just a little bit more compassionate towards ourselves and towards each other. And let's finish with a deep breath in and exhale. Beautiful. And then slowly open your eyes. And thank you everyone for joining me in that. And one of the philosophies we use in the kids yoga, in the adult yoga training, no matter what it is to use the thing to teach the thing. And when you do even just a short breathing exercise, you can feel that it makes a difference. And that's what we're trying to create, is teachers who can go out there and use the thing to teach the thing. So use yoga breathing, use yoga poses to teach people how they can, they can't control what's happening in the world, but you can control a little bit of what's happening for yourself. So that's one of our philosophies for the training. And let's launch into what we'll cover. And this is what was in the email I sent. So just to highlight, we're going to cover the format, the hours. We're trying to create an extremely flexible refund policy, how you'll get supporting resources, how it meets the Yoga Alliance requirements right now, and then a question and answer. So this was in the email I sent to you through the newsletter. And I wanted to show you that, that Yoga Alliance has created an online response to the COVID-19 situation. So this is what they say, that they're allowing yoga schools to move the training online till June 30th, 2020. And I'm very grateful for that. For those of us in Ontario, we know, schools have only been able to say they'll be closed till May. And it was really, I was really grateful that Yoga Alliance allowed us to just say, let's do it before June 30th, because that allows us to get the whole training in. If you're looking for it, you can go to the Yoga Alliance website. So if you want to see where it's happening, they have this yellow bar at the top, and it says check our COVID-19 resource page. And that's what this page is. So it says it right here, the online learning for registered schools. So this is where I'm getting the information from. It's from the Yoga Alliance website. So that means that it applies. Oh, let me go back and show you. So they're saying here, it applies to all schools. So 200, 300, children's yoga, prenatal yoga. They've just opened it up to let teachers continue offering their courses. So that means that if you take the training, the 95-hour children's yoga training or the 200-hour training, you can actually get the Yoga Alliance certificate that you can register with Yoga Alliance with. So how the children's yoga training will work is we're going to do all 6 modules, and I had 4 of them already scheduled actually. So I just added in 2 more so that we will be able to cover all 6 by June. June 11th actually will be the last day of the training, and that will give you a few weeks afterwards to get your practicum done, and we'll meet that June 30th deadline. And for the 95-hour training, what that looks like is on Saturday and Sunday we'll meet live just the way we would in a live training for the kids yoga. So some people are already registered. We're already registered for those, but I think it would be pretty impossible to do 8 hours live in a day. So we're cutting back the hours to 5 hours each day. And then we're adding these days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And this is the time where I want people to really appreciate that this is still going to be a legitimate training. It'll be very much the same requirements as the live training. So it's not just like, you know, people aren't going to be able to just sign up and get a rubber stamp that they get the certificate. So you'll still need to meet the practicum requirements. And that will happen on Tuesday and Thursday, but those hours can be flexible. If someone has to go back to work, they can watch the video of those hours. If everyone has to go back to work, then we might change those hours to the evening, and we'll figure it out in that way. All the meetings, whether it's on the Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday, will be recorded and uploaded to the Teachable platform so that you can watch the videos again later. And I get, like, people have kids at home now, distractions are going to come up. So even though you might be available live, you might get distracted during it. And so that's why we want to have everything up on the Teachable platform as well, so you can follow up. Oops. And then, Claire, do you want to talk a bit about the Ambassador Yoga Training?
Yes, I'd love to. The Ambassador Yoga Training is a 200-hour program, completely registered with Yoga Alliance. I've been teaching it myself for almost 6 years at my yoga studio, and we also have actually affiliate trainers internationally that are teaching the program. It's got 5-star reviews with Yoga Alliance across the board, so we're quite pleased. It's a very comprehensive training. All of our graduates give it 5-star reviews. We've never done it online, but because of the quality of the program and the fact that we have affiliates internationally, somewhere even English is a barrier, they're able to teach the program. I feel like we can deliver it in this format as well. The 200-hour program is broken up into 4 50-hour modules.
Sorry.
And my thought process, that's okay, is that each module will take us about 2 weeks to complete online. Again, in combination, live, interactive meetings, discussions, and lectures, and then also some pre-recorded videos, so practices and meditations, things that I will pre-record for you. And you'll be able to learn that on your own time. So I'm hoping that we can do the majority of the training live, discussion-based, interactive, and then those will also be recorded too if you happen to miss them or if you get distracted. The big concern here is the fluidity of our timelines. Yoga Alliance has given us until June 30th, but are we all going to be available until June 30th? We don't know what's happening when schools are going back or people are getting called back to work. So we're going to record everything. And as Aruna said, we'll be flexible with timelines. And because we can record everything, you should have complete content by the end of the training. Also completely available for questions outside of the training hours. You will also receive a complete manual. So we have in total, it's about a 700-page manual for the 200-hour training. So you'll receive that hopefully in print format if a printer near you is open, and I'll take care of sending manuals to your printer. If that is not accessible as time goes on, if we're finding trouble finding printers that are open, you'll receive an electronic copy of the complete manual. So you will have resources to follow along with. I have lots more to say, but I think that's all for now.
I know everything's the big unknown going on.
Yeah.
We've been trying to really think of, like, not just our needs, but other people's needs, and being really sensitive to the fact that the reason this is all happening is because there is a virus going around. So we've been trying to think of, like, you know, what would happen if someone got sick? Like, that's the worst case scenario. Or also what would happen if a loved one got sick? So I know I have aging parents, and I'm sure many of you do as well. So we've been trying to really try to think of what would happen, and basically we're going just to try to be decent people throughout it. So the trainings, the transfers, the training can be flexible. As Yoga Alliance said, like they encourage us to do it online, but if that can't happen, then we're willing to take advantage of that flexibility that they're letting us have. So if need be, you know, a person can transfer to a later online training, because we don't know, like some projections are that this could be going on for a year. You know, if that happens, then we'll probably do the online training again if Yoga Alliance allows it. But if it doesn't happen, then you could transfer to an in-person training. The refund, so ideally what we're hoping for is that people are signing up because they want to get the certificate, whichever one it is. And if whatever way we can, we're going to try to work out that you can finish the course. If a transfer is not possible, then we can request, you can request a refund by writing to your lead trainer for the portion of the course that you haven't taken. So I know in the kids yoga, people start teaching after even just a few modules of the training. In the adult yoga, usually people will wait till the 200-hour training is complete to start teaching. So I guess we're trying to find a way to be fair that, you know, if you've taken part of the training, then maybe you'll come and complete it with us at a future date when you're able to. The refund deadline, so once an online training has been delivered, then there'll be no refunds for that training. So at that point, you'll have had access to our manuals and our resources. So we're hoping that you'll feel satisfied that you did get some value. And then we're trying to make allowances that the technology will work in our favor. So if there's a breakdown in technology in Zoom or Teachable, we'll just try to get it fixed as soon as possible, and we'll resume courses as soon as possible. But we just want to be upfront that, you know, this could happen. I guess, I hope it won't, but I've heard that Zoom is going a little hog wild right now with signups. And then as trainers, so we want to reserve the right as trainers to be able to substitute in another trainer if we need to. So if one of us becomes ill, or if one of our family members becomes ill, then we will do what we have to substitute in another trainer who's qualified. And I mean, we're all obviously hoping that we don't have to do that. We want to all be healthy. So we're trying to make it pretty flexible. There is a question we already got about that I'll go over at the end. So what we'll be using for the course is Zoom, which is what we're doing now. So we'll have some parts where everyone will see each other, and then we'll unmute everyone and we'll be able to have discussions. Zoom also has breakout rooms that will have people meet in small groups as well. And there's also like a webinar style where you can just look at a presentation for some of the pre-recorded things. And then Teachable, I'm just learning that platform now. Did I open it? I did not. So Teachable, I don't know if you've seen it, but it just organizes all the information really well. So that's going to hold our videos, our PDFs, our tests, all the information we have to review. And then the printed manuals. So for the kids yoga training, I've done what I call no frills pricing, so that people print their own manuals, and I've dropped the price by $400 so that you would just order your own breathing ball, your own balancing eagle, all the things that I usually include in the course, you would just order it yourself from Amazon. So that's the no frills pricing. But Claire's actually, I think, Claire, you're including printed manuals? Or
yes, my price includes printed manuals. So if I can get you a printed manual, depending on your location and where your printer is, I definitely will. I know that Staples right now is offering free delivery. So if I upload to Staples, they will deliver to your home for you. I don't know that. Again, that could change. So if that does happen, I can send you an electronic version of the manual to follow along with. And then once the training is complete, once social distancing bans are lifted, if at that point you would like a hard copy, I know I love the environment, I love the trees, but I like my hard copy as well. So if you are like me and you would like a hard copy, consider printing included. So if you don't get one, I will get you one eventually that you can highlight and mark up. But that would be my preference, is to send you a hard copy before training starts, so you have the resources to follow along with.
And for the kids yoga training, I have had a few people who have requested the printed manuals, and if someone wants that, I can do that. And basically, I'll just charge you whatever Staples charges me for your manuals. That's so I get that some people like printed manuals. I have a whole bookshelf of printed manuals too. So that's the no frills pricing, that, and then for the 200 hour. So the 95 hour does not include the printed manuals or any resources, and the 200 hour does include resources. Sorry, printed manuals. Okay. Oh, there we are. Look at that. So we got to the end. That's good. We covered everything, but we have a few questions. So Kelly emailed us in a question, which I loved. Is it possible to take both trainings at the same time? And yes, it is possible. It turns out that we organized it that the dates don't overlap. But I think the thing is, you know, if you have a house full of people, and if you're working part-time or something, I don't recommend it personally. But if you're at home, like I was talking to one of our grads, and she's home alone, and she really wants to make the most of her stuff, you know, and she has the ability to really just dive into something, then yes. So, you know, use your judgment, but if it works for you, yes, you can certainly take them both at the same time. And okay, and I'll check the chat. So we have one more question, then I'm going to check the chat. This is from Christy. So Christy said, if I sign up for the yoga teacher training course and have to go back to work part way through, so this is for the 200 hour training, because Christy's a grad of the 95 hour training already. Will there be any way to complete the 200 hour training? I know that refunds are available for unfinished portions, but unless I can finish it somehow, the paid portion is sort of moot. Will there be a way to finish it during weekends, either in person or online? I would love to take this opportunity, but it feels too risky unless I know I can finish it. So I think a lot of people are probably wondering that. What are you thinking, Claire?
I think absolutely there's a way to finish it, because all of the interactive portions are recorded and will be uploaded, as well as teachable. There's already pre-recorded references there. My plan is to have, by the end of the live portion, like the end date of our training, have everything that was pre-recorded and recorded as we go available online. So I believe that you can then go through and finish it online. If you're local, I live in Grimsby. If you're local, we have a rolling intake with our teacher training anyway. So if you wanted to do 1 or 2 modules that you didn't complete online in person, you're more than welcome to do that. But my answer would be yes. If you aren't able to finish and stay connected to the live portions, because you've got to go back, those live portions will be put online for you, uploaded regularly. So you should be able to finish it. Again, now if you're working and you're trying to finish the program all before June 30th, it'll just put extra pressure on you to go back to work and then have to come home from work and review what we've done those 3 hours during the day, plus the 8 hours of additional self-study during the week. But if you think you can do it, you definitely can. And you're more than welcome to complete a module in person if you're local. We're absolutely going to do what we can to get people who are interested in the training, graduates of the training, so that you have the resources for yourself and you can share the yoga with others. It is our intention to get everybody who signs up to graduate. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, same with the 95-hour. I mean, I want people to be able to finish the full training online if they can. We have a summer certification booked in Burlington, but at this point, I don't know if it's going to run. It's kind of like, it's just so hard to know, isn't it? What's going to happen. My feeling is, my gut is telling me that we won't be gathering again in groups for a while, but I'm no doctor, so I don't know. Okay, so I just launched a poll.
John Tory just announced yesterday that there'll be no gatherings until June 30th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, in Toronto, right.
Toronto, so.
Yeah.
And it's June 30th, so hard to say what the summer will hold for us.
Right. So I launched
extensions too from Yoga Alliance. You know,
yes.
if you have circumstances where somebody is almost through a training, June 30th comes and goes, you know, you have 30 more hours or 20 more hours, I'm sure we can talk to Yoga Alliance and get extensions on a case-by-case basis. They've been really good about case-by-case basis.
That's true. That's a good point.
So I don't want anybody to sign up with hesitancy thinking that they won't graduate. We will do our absolute best to make sure that you can.
Okay. Now I found the chat, so that was great. Do you guys see the chat questions? Okay. So this is from Ramona. Hi. I think I've talked to Ramona before. That name looks familiar. Okay, so thank you so much for offering this today. I have a few questions. I just received the email today at 12:59 p.m. Oh, good. I'm glad it worked out. However, the email states if you join before April 1st, you qualify for a $300 savings. Is there flexibility for those who were just made aware of this for the 200-hour training? And also, is the online certification recognized by the Yoga Alliance of Canada? Is this only available for those who already begun training, or is this available to anyone who wishes to get certified? Good questions. Okay, so the amount, Claire, do you want to talk about that first?
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be flexible on deadlines. We it's just changing by the hour. So 2 weeks ago when we found out, I have a great idea. Let's put a 200-hour training online. And we shared the information. Since then, I've actually pushed back the start date. And we're just realizing that people are constantly getting updated. So absolutely fill out the application. There is a spot listed there if you just about your financial situation at the moment. We're all in the same boat as far as worried about finances, not knowing when we're going back to work, things like that. So fill out the application. By filling out the application, you're not committed to the training. It just gives me your contact information, shows me you're interested, and lets me know that we have to have some discussions. And there is an opportunity on the online form to let me know financially where you're at and what would help you attend the training. So to answer your question, basically ignore that April 1st deadline.
Mm-hmm.
We'll work with you.
And we've been trying to be really decent with the pricing, and we have a few people who have offered to do installment plans. Unfortunately, we can't just do it for free. It's just like, our hope is things are going to go back to normal, and then people will be able to pay for things, you know. So I get that it is tight right now, but I hope it's a temporary thing. And then we'll try to take some payment plans to make it easy for people. Then the question was, okay, so 300, is there flexibility?
Yes.
So yes, I hope to tune in and ask questions. Okay. Is it recognized by Yoga Alliance of Canada? You know what, we're not registered with Yoga Alliance of Canada, and we've looked into Yoga Alliance of Canada. We chose to register with Yoga Alliance, which a lot of people call US Yoga Alliance, but technically it's an international agency, which the reason I feel strongly about the Yoga Alliance International, which is the yogaalliance.org, is that they do have a nonprofit portion of the registry that is really working towards yoga teachers. So what I also found out is that if you want to register with Yoga Alliance of Canada, you don't have to take the training with a registered school. with Yoga Alliance Canada. So you can take your training with any school. As far as you should double check it, but that was my understanding. So the school doesn't have to be registered with Yoga Alliance for you to register with Yoga Alliance Canada. To register with Yoga Alliance US, you have to take the training with Yoga Alliance US, which is technically Yoga Alliance International. So they're an international organization who happens to be based in the US. I got my yoga teacher training in 1998, and that was when Yoga Alliance International was being formed. And I remember the meetings, they went around and they talked to all the different teachers. And we, at that time, there was no standard of 200 hours. And they're the ones who kind of made that popular. And honestly, I didn't register with Yoga Alliance until I started a school. So, you know, that's really optional. I don't think people don't seem to really require it, but I think if you want to be a trainer, if you see yourself one day wanting to be a yoga teacher trainer, I think not having the Yoga Alliance would limit you in possibly, because then you couldn't train with a school that's registered with Yoga Alliance. So that's a whole other conversation. Did you want to add anything to that, Claire?
Well, I just think that our programs are both the 95-hour and the 200-hour are recognized by Yoga Alliance International. That's just a freebie bonus so that you are able to get that registered yoga teacher certification and qualification. And like you said, it's the unknown. So not knowing maybe where you will take your yoga teaching, it would just be a shame to take it with a school that wasn't registered, and then maybe you have an opportunity to teach at a gym or a studio and they say, wow, we would really love to have you, but oh, you're not registered. There's a lot of feelings about Yoga Alliance at the moment, and whether to say it's the right thing or not, we've chose to register, which means you have the opportunity to register with them. You're not limited there, should you choose to.
Yeah, you don't have to register. So, and then you also asked, is this available for those who had already begun training, or is this available to anyone who wishes to get certified? Yeah, it's available to anyone. So we're doing the whole thing within the time frame that Yoga Alliance is allowing it to be online. So even though I had 4 modules already scheduled, I added the 2 other ones so that the whole thing would happen. And same with Claire. She had some scheduled and she's put the whole 200-hour online. Okay, so thank you for my question is, what will the practice teaching look like in the actual situation? I wish I knew, sorry. I have not received the newsletter and just found out about the webinar 30 minutes before the webinar. Could I please receive the newsletter? Oh, sure. Yes. I will put the links at the end and hopefully you can do a screenshot of them. I'm not sure why you're not getting the newsletter, but if you go onto the Young Yoga Masters website. So if that person could just write whether they were thinking of the 95-hour or the 200-hour, because they will be slightly different contracts. I'll check for your answer if you could just tell me which one you were thinking of. The 95-hour practicum that is the hard part. It's a very important part of the training, and it's often people's favorite part of the kids yoga training because they get to see what kids are like. So what we're going to do is have the Young Yoga Masters. Thank you. So that person was thinking of the children's yoga. So we're going to have some recorded sessions of online classes. So one of our trainers, Marcia, is actually offering online classes right now, and they're going to be recorded and you're going to be able to see them. We also have some recorded kids yoga sessions that we had previously recorded where kids are actually in the room. So you'll be able to see those pre-recorded sessions as well. And then what you will need to do for your practicum for the kids yoga training is the Yoga Alliance requirement is for you to teach 4 hours. So 4 hours as lead trainer. Lead teacher. So each module of the training that Tuesday and Thursday time are going to be about you planning one 40-minute class. That's my suggestion. But you could do two 20-minute classes if you wanted. And what we'll try to do is match people up with people who have children in the training, who are probably going to be more than happy to have someone lead a yoga class with their children online. So we're going to move with the times, and you're going to have to do 4 hours as a lead teacher of practicum before you graduate to fulfill that. And then on top of that, we want people to observe other people training. So we'll create small groups within the 95-hour training, and you will be observing and participating in someone else's class as they do it, so that you're going to get the practicum experience. So I think that'll be fun. I've been doing online classes with my niece. She's 5 years old and she doesn't live with me. We've been meeting at night, and we've been doing games and yoga and holding things up to the camera, and it's surprisingly like quite effective. So so that's what we're going to do. Claire, what have you thought about for the practicum for the 200-hour?
We are going to do a combination of things. Really, for the 200-hour, it's seeing how you use your yoga in your daily life. So you'll have an opportunity for lots of reflection, creating a home lesson plan for yourself, something that you can commit to as far as a home practice. You'll be creating that, you'll be sharing that verbally, walking us through why you chose what you chose, how you set it up. And then at some point we'll be designing lesson plans for other people within the group. So you'll be doing as if they were a private client, taking some information about each other. You will be creating lesson plans and then either sharing them verbally, and then of course at some point teaching them formally. It really depends on how the live training goes and who's available at what time, whether you meet in a breakout room or Zoom with a partner and practice teach, or whether that's something I'll have you pre-record and send to me. But we'll teach you how to do that. We'll teach you tone of voice, we'll teach you sequencing, we'll teach you how to set up your environment, we'll teach you how to plan for a peak pose, we'll teach you how to do that, and then when the time comes, sort of give you an opportunity to try for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Great, that sounds fun. Okay, so let's keep going. How many pages is the 95-hour manual? It's over 1,000 pages. I haven't totally decided whether I'll put the whole thing up on the website or how it will be organized on Teachable. But I think I might, like, you know, that's every trainer's, you're getting the inside life of a trainer. Every trainer's fear is losing control of their manuals. So it's something that I'll probably put up online and see what happens. And then people can print them, or as I mentioned, if you want, I can send them to Staples and you can pick them up, or they'll deliver them too. Okay, so will you send a list of resources we need to purchase from Amazon? Absolutely. And what does the practicum involve? So I think I covered that. It will be, but the highlight of that is it will involve you in the end, at the end of the whole training, you will have taught 4 hours as a trainer, as a teacher rather, to, I don't even care if you're just teaching to yourself and you're imagining a room full of children. You know, we have to make do with the times, but wouldn't it be nice if you could teach someone else's kids, or teach your kids who may not be in your home but teach online, and then you'll observe other classes that are going on. So there's lots of great kids yoga classes I've been sharing from our grads actually. And then the Amazon, yeah, so the purchase online, I haven't gotten to that part of it. I think it will probably maybe be about $100 to purchase all the extra resources, not including the manuals. So like the breathing ball, the balancing eagle, there's some other activities that I recommend. So I don't think it's more than 100.
And can I say you will use those resources for years. I took my training from Aruna 2012 and have worn out my breathing ball, still use my balancing eagle. When I teach at schools and it's a rainy day and I know the children haven't gone outside for resource, everything in my kit comes with me. You need every resource you've got. Yeah. So it's well worth the investment if you are actually going to work with children.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. The props really, I mean, we cover that in the training, just how you use props to get and hold the kids' attention. It's essential. Okay, so I think I covered that. Looking for the price. Okay, price. Let's go to the website. So the prices for the children's yoga training, I can't even remember them. Usually I know all this stuff up by heart. So right now it's lowered by $450, so it's $1,740 plus tax Canadian. If you're not in Canada or if you're not in Ontario, you actually don't have to pay tax for an online training. So which is another reason why we're doing it by application. So this is Canadian dollars. I think $1,740 works out to, I don't know, $1,200 or $1,300 US. And then here's the prices for 3 modules and for 1 module. I made the mistake of, it's been a bit of a mistake of offering to open up some scholarships. And of course, there's so much need for scholarships that it's been a little overwhelming for me actually. So I decided that I would limit it to 3 scholarships. And I'm holding some space. I'm just allowing some space once we have the registration open. I may just offer a discount code for people who have no income right now to have a further discount. And I'm trying to, I don't know what to do, to tell you the truth, figuring it out as I go, because it's too many years of work to just give it away for free or almost free. So I'm trying to figure out what to do. So stay tuned for that. And if you want to get the discount code that I decide on, then please fill in the application, and that's who I'll be communicating that with. If someone is regular paying, getting paid, like I know some school teachers and stuff are still getting their payment, their paychecks, then this is still a really good savings of $450 off the regular price. And let's go to the 200-hour training. Claire, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So we've got about essentially three price points. Normally, in-person training is anywhere from $3,100 to $3,500, depending on payment plans and things like that, live in studio. So we've reduced the price drastically to $2,800. Technically, you could save $300 if you register before today, but that deadline was made before we knew we were going to do a webinar today. So we'll give you a couple more days on that. Let's say by Friday or Saturday. If you're interested, let me know, and I'll honor a $2,500 price point. And then there is, as I said earlier, a place on the application. We would be willing to offer scholarships of up to 50% on that price point. Again, based on need. And the need really comes into, yes, you're not working right now, but you have a really good job that pays more than my regular income. If you make more than me on an annual basis, you are not getting a discount. You're just making less than you normally would. It's based on need, and it's based on what you're going to do with it. If you're home and you're bored and you think, sure, I'll throw a yoga teacher training under my belt, you're more than welcome to do that. If you don't have a lot of money, but you feel like you have resources and opportunities to really bring this back to your community and share the love and share the yoga and create more yogis in your community, I have a very bleeding heart for that, and I will definitely do my best to get you registered. It's based on your need and based on your willingness to share what you learn, which I think is fair.
Yeah. Okay, let me find the chat again. So the prices are all on the website too, so I'll make sure everyone gets those links, and they were in the first newsletter. Okay. Looking for the price. Will there be links to the recorded classes if I have to go? Yes, yes, there will be links. If you have to go back to work, then yes. Where will I find the class? Hey, Aruna, Michelle took the 95 hour. So I love seeing people maybe be able to get the 200. And so if you will find the class on the Teachable platform, and we'll have that link for you, and you'll have your own sign in. And I should tell everyone that one of the reasons why we chose Teachable, it costs us like over $1,000 to sign up for this thing. But we actually can tell whether you've done the work with this platform. We can tell whether we can go in and look at if your homework is done. We can go in and look if you've watched the videos, and we can look at each person. So this is not a rubber stamp training. It is a legitimate training where you will be getting attention, one-on-one attention from us as well. If you're there live, then you'll get it live. If you're not there live, then we're actually going to go in and check whether you watched the video or not. And if you're not doing the work required, then you won't get the certificate. But if you do the work, you will get the certificate. And we will really bend over backwards to try to get everything you can available, so you can make up the work if you have to miss. But I hope we go back to work, Michelle, and that would be really nice. And then we have till June 30th to complete it. So for sure. So, okay, so I'm on to Louise. I'm just finishing up a Kundalini teacher training, but I'm interested in the inclusive yoga training as my interest in teaching young adults. Children are on the autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Would that course be helpful to me to achieve this? Thanks. Yes. So Louise, I don't know if you know this, but my first love of yoga was Kundalini yoga. So I'm with you. The inclusive yoga is very useful. We have a guest speaker who's going to do it online, actually, Yasuko Tanaka. She specializes in teaching children on the autism spectrum in the Japanese community. And she gives a really great talk. So one of the sessions for 2.5 hours, she'll be there talking about how she uses what we learn in the training with her students. So I think you'll find it very useful and very practical, and there'll be a question and answer with her as well. And then I'll also share my experience, and there's a whole manual of resources. So just with the inclusive yoga, it's a weekend course, so we can't really cover every special need. Like, we're not making anyone a specialist by any means, but we're looking at yoga in terms of special needs. And so what they find is there's a high comorbidity, they call it, between a diagnosis of a special need and a diagnosis of an anxiety disorder or stress-related disorder. And so what yoga can do for many people with a special need who also have anxiety is help to reduce that anxiety. And so that's the approach we take it from. We're not going to be able to cover like every single special need. Like, people study that for years. So but we just take the yoga part of it. So we stick within our wheelhouse, but we have some really effective strategies. So yes, I think that will help you. And you can just take the one module as well. And Thursday night, I have a Kundalini yoga class if you want to join me online. Let me know, Louise. Okay, so Michaela, I'm in yoga teacher training right now with a Yoga Alliance of Canada school in order to get my RYCT. Would I be able to achieve this if my yoga teacher is done from a Canadian Yoga Alliance school? I hate this answer, but no, you cannot. You cannot register with Yoga Alliance International or yogaalliance.org unless you've done a 200-hour yoga teacher training with a registered school with Yoga Alliance International. But what you can do is you can register with Yoga Alliance Canada as a children's yoga teacher. So I believe they have that designation. And again, with Yoga Alliance Canada, they've taken a different approach where your training doesn't have to be with a school registered with them. So if you've chosen that route, I would say just you can take a children's yoga training and then just register with them as a children's yoga teacher after. So I personally don't think it won't limit you until the day, if one day when you may decide you want to open a teacher training school. That's when people ask for it. And I don't know, Claire and I, we just registered with Yoga Alliance mostly as a business decision because people want it. I'm grateful to Yoga Alliance. I'm grateful that, you know, there's a clear path, and I'm grateful that there's not the cults that happen in some other styles of yoga. But don't get me started on that, because if you're in the Kundalini yoga world, you know what's going on there, and it's very disappointing when, you know, yoga is based around these cults of personality, and then, you know, people kind of get screwed. So I'm grateful for Yoga Alliance even more right now after this. If anyone wants to talk to me about that, you can shoot me an email. I'm happy to talk to you about that personally. Okay, so we did Michaela's question. All good for Quebecers. Yeah, I think it's good. I think we'll be able to get the whole training in no matter where you are. I know we have some people from New Orleans here because I've met people in New Orleans, and we have some people from Africa, from India, who have applied for the kids yoga training. So really with the remote training, you can be anywhere you want. If you're, Tracy, I don't know if you're interested in French resources. In the kids yoga training, we do have oh, is Tracy on there? No. In the kids yoga training, we do have a French alphabet poster, but all the manuals are in English. So, but we did create a French alphabet, l'alphabet de yoga grenouille. So our frog yoga alphabet in French. Okay. Quebecers. Okay, and just wanted to inquire about the price if one wanted to register to get certified in both the 95-hour and the 200-hour programs. Would there be a discounted price if someone registered for both at once? Ramona, thank you for that. Okay, email us. We haven't thought of that actually, but maybe. We're just kind of trying to figure this out. So please email us and let's see what we can work out. Okay, Coach Tom Davis. Hey, Coach Tom Davis. Do you have an online videos for me to have my PE classes do yoga with one of my units? I'm K-6 PE specialist in Edmonds, Washington. If you are in my area, you could teach me with me at my school. That's sweet. We don't have that actually. You know, up until now, we've kind of had the philosophy in the kids yoga that in person is always better. And, you know, there's some evidence, some research that shows that people need people to learn, and that, you know, watching a video is not the same as having a live interactive experience. I think the research around education shows that children do learn better with a live trainer. So we haven't taken that approach, and also partly because Yoga Alliance has not allowed it. So I don't want to promise that. I'm sorry. But we can promise that you'll learn how to do it. And our hope is that one day you would be able to lead some really fun yoga classes with your kids. Okay, so how many hours of homework will be given? Good question. And then how do you know you know I watched the recorded video? Oh, good question. How do I know if you've watched the recorded video? Is that Teachable tells us. The reason we're using the Teachable platform is that it tells us how much of the course people have done. And I mean, I guess we don't know. Should I be saying this? I feel like
Played it in the background.
yeah, we don't know whether you're just playing it and then walk away from it. We don't know that, but we know whether you've played it, and we know whether you've completed the assignments and stuff, because that's what the Teachable platform, that's the functionality of it. And how many hours of homework will be given? So for the 95 hour, it will be about planning basically for 4 hours of classes. So it will either be 6 40-minute classes that will bring you to 4 hours that you will have to teach as a lead teacher for the kids yoga training, and that will be your homework. So some people, you know, if you're a teacher or something, that you could probably plan that pretty quickly. But if you've never taught children, it might take you a little longer. So it's hard to put an exact time on that. We will have the morning classes where you can meet with us live and we'll plan them. Or if you can't make it, you can plan it on your own. With the 200-hour, Claire, I think it's 70 hours.
Yeah, 70 hours over 8 weeks. So the 200-hour program is a commitment to 200 hours. We don't want to exceed that. 200 hours does include your homework time, you know, planning your lessons and doing your required reading, things like that. So we are hoping for 25 hours a week. My goal is that about 16 of those are live and 8 are self-study. Unless you miss the live hours, then you'll have to make up the live hours on your own time as well. So plan 25 hours a week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's so 25 times 8 is 200. So that works out. Yeah. So how do you know? I know because of Teachable we'll know. Okay, so can I teach my kids for the practicum part? Yes. In fact, we hope there's people with kids who sign up so that not only can you teach your kids, but other people can also teach your kids on days, and maybe you can get something else done during that time. So yes, absolutely. We're really, fingers crossed, we're hoping that people with kids sign up. Hey, Yasuko, is that our Yasuko? Thank you. Yes, she knows I love Yasuko. She gives an amazing talk. I've learned so much from her. And just to say, like, that is one of the joys of adult training, is like people bring so much to the training. So, I mean, you know, you're learning from me. You're learning from Claire. We have our years of experience, but you're also learning from each other, and it's pretty cool experience. And I feel like that will still happen whether it's online or not. All those connections, and we'll be doing some group work to try to ensure that people still connect with each other. And then Louise, thank you, very helpful. Sarah, is there a deadline to apply before the training starts? The deadline, I think, for the children's yoga, I guess just before the start of the first, you know, a couple days before the training starts, I think would be the deadline. I know, Claire, you're offering a discount. I haven't offered an early registration deadline. So
I just need time to get you your manuals. So we begin on April 13th, Monday, April 13th. So I've listed April 8th. If you register after that, you're just going to have to give me a couple extra days to get your manuals to you. That's all.
Yeah. But I mean, I think what we're both feel would be the easiest situation is to have a cohort who's either, if you haven't already taken some of the modules, then everyone is doing the full training together. And then I think it will be easier to just kind of have everyone go through it all together. Okay, Tracy's iPhone. Sorry, yes, I could hear you. Great, thank you. Is there a Facebook group to stay connected with others who took the training and to help provide ongoing support? We have a Young Yoga Masters teacher support group, yes. And Claire, do you have an ambassador?
Well, it's my yoga studio, so we do have a Yoga Truly teacher support group on Facebook.
Okay.
So you would be connected with all of the people that have taken the training live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll create a group and have people get connected. One more question, how do we access the classes? Will there be a link as there was today for the live training? I'm new to this format. Good question, Michelle. I think what it will look like is we haven't totally built it yet, but we have booked a domain, Yoga and Meditation Training, and then the Teachable, the platform will be listed on that domain, and then you will log in with an email and a password. So, and you'll get that when you register. And then when you log in, you'll be given access to the courses. So I want to try to show you what the back end of Teachable looks like. And that's what we've been examples. So here's kind of what the back end will look like, if it will come up quick enough. Okay, so this is Teachable. Here's their examples. It's just rebooting. Oh, I noticed that we're just going over time. So if there's no more questions, we'll make this the last one. And then this video will be saved, and I will probably upload it to YouTube for now because we don't have this ready. So here's some examples of other people who have used this site. So when you click on it, I'm hoping there's one that shows the curriculum, because it is very cool because it really organizes it quite well.
And this is our first online course offering too. So
Yeah.
full transparency, that's why the discounts are there.
So let me just click on one of these. Let's see, make fabulous cakes. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see what it's like. You've probably seen them potentially, because a lot of people use these, but it kind of says, like, for me, the way I've organized it is like Saturday morning, this is what we're covering. And there'll be a PDF for the kids yoga that you can download, and then you'll see what we're covering, and any additional resources will be listed there. Let me see if it's coming.
It's very much like a course. You'll have, yeah. It's very much like a book online, and you'll have a chapter, and then within the chapter you'll have maybe a PDF, maybe a video to look at, the pre-recorded content, or then the recorded content for what we did live will be up there, and you'll go through each chapter.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not really, it's not, my computer's not working that fast with both of these, all the applications running. While that's going, what I want to do is see if, oh yeah, so this is where you can find the information. I'm trying to get the information on to Teachable so that people can just register right on Teachable. And Claire is doing applications, and then she's just sending people the email. And once we get up on Teachable, then you'll just give people send them a login. Yeah. So if you go to ambassadoryoga.com and you look at Yoga Teacher Training Online, it's in the menu. You'll see it right there. That's where you'll find the application. And if you get into Young Yoga Masters and you look under registration, so for Young Yoga Masters, at the top it has dates of registration. That's where you'll find it. And for Ambassador Yoga, it's all on the website, and I think we've got it as a landing page. So when you go to Ambassador, here it is. So you'll see this Yoga Teacher Training online right there. So you can just click on that, and that's where the application is. And let's see if this came up. Oh, it's not really coming up.
Our
I'd like to
intention
find.
is that we will take care of all of this for you. So we will take care of printing your manuals and getting them delivered to you. We will take care of the back end of uploading the content to the platform.
Okay.
You just have to log in when we ask you to for live trainings.
Yeah.
Or on your own time, you'll have a login that you can just visit the Teachable platform when you have time and complete a video or do a reading, whatever it is that's up there on your own time.
So, so this is kind of what it will look like. This is another school that uses the same platform. So it gives you like the course welcome and overview, and it kind of has what they call courses. And then there's sections for each course. So it will break it down into the different categories of our training. So this is for someone else's school, but this is what it will look like on the back end for you. And then you'll just click on that, and it will either have a video once we upload the video, or it will have a PDF, or it will have a test, or it will have an image or something like that. And then you'll just go through and it will play it. So we really like this platform because it looked pretty organized.
And it's very cohesive,
yeah.
and very intuitive, very user-friendly. Yeah. I know that I've taken online courses and then I'll leave them and maybe I can't get back to them for a few weeks, and I come back and it says resume course and it picks me back up right where I left off. So they're designed to be user-friendly.
Yeah.
We'll do uploading the back end. Yeah,
it will keep track of where you left off for you. So one last check of the chat. I see there's a couple more comments. Sorry, I joined late. I'm wondering if this is a training that could be done online. I am a French speaker. Is there any French yoga in the kids in French? So the only French we have, I mentioned, is in the frog yoga alphabet. We have a French yoga alphabet. So we have a poster and French poses for each letter, but all the manuals are still in English. Marcia LeBlanc is our other trainer, and she actually is a native French speaker, so she would definitely give you some ideas. She's even translated our hello song and stuff into French, so she would be able to be a good resource for you there. You talked about the breathing ball and something else you use all the time. What was that? It's called the balancing eagle. And if you Google that, you'll find it. It's like a little eagle that sits on, it will balance on your fingertip and the wings kind of go out. So that's one of the resources. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Aruna and Claire. I have to leave now. Thank you everyone.
Thank
you. I
you.
really appreciate everything you guys for joining us today. And we're here for you. If you have any questions, just reach out. We will let you know how things are progressing. Our goal is to help you graduate with the online training while we have this opportunity, and to make something good out of this time that we have now. Did you want to add anything, Claire, before we finish?
No, I'm just really happy that we have this opportunity. While there's a lot of crisis and a lot of unknowns in the world, we have the opportunity to connect and to grow and to advance our trainings and to share. So I hope as many people as possible can join us in wherever your heart is being led, the 200-hour or the 95-hour. And we will see you there.
Yes.
Appreciate your time today.
So thank you, everyone. As one of the kids says, Sat Namaste. Have a great day, and we'll send out an email with this recording. And if you have a chance, then if you're interested, just go ahead. If it feels like it will work for you, go ahead and fill out the application, and we'll follow up with you as soon as possible. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Okay.